does a summer associate's networking kind of responsibilities need to continue into the fall?
Sorry to break the news to you, but networking never ends until you die. You know, it's just the truth of it. Because what you're doing when you're networking, and I explain this all the time, you're building up a team of cheerleaders for you.
There you go.
Like, that's what it is. It's not about having to suck up to people and having to be nice. Like, yeah, some people are really miserable to talk to. I've had some really long conversations with partners I'd like to forget out of my life. That said, those partners were impressed that I was willing to listen to them, and then later on, they were a great reference. You know, you never know who's going to help you when in your life, and there's nothing wrong with just being a nice person and listening to somebody talk. You go to that cocktail party that you don't want to go to about those pro bono awards, and you have a conversation with somebody. Somebody might tell you some information that might be really useful about another department that you want to move into. You know, like little things. It's about gathering information, getting people to like you, and making a cheerleading squad. You know, it all helps you in the end, and don't look at it as a burden. You know, look at it as an opportunity to find out information, not like you're scrolling around to find out information, but you want to care about the organization that you're in. It shows a lot of respect to the people that you're working with, that you value them. You can ask them more questions, and that's also important. Sometimes you might be working with them on a deal or a transaction, and you need somebody's help. Much easier to call them up for non-billable help on something than if you don't know them and they want to know the first question client matter.
Right, but I want to sharpen that a little bit because the bottom line is that there are some people who have, you know, the personalities of porcupine. I mean, there are some people who are just socially awkward, and I'm sure that they think that, you know, as opposed to networking, the best thing for them to do to make friends is to keep their mouth shut, because when they're around people, they just never seem to handle it right. You know, even for a person who feels that they're so socially awkward, do they still need to go to that cocktail party?
I think it really makes a huge impression if you just show up. Your presence there will be noted, and your absence may also be noted. And it's not that, you know, maybe the partner you're working with doesn't care if you go to those events, but maybe somebody else sort of does. Maybe it was somebody that you worked with when you were a summer associate and you're a first-year associate, and they see you, they're like, oh, hey, it's nice to see you. Just to see you. I think your presence alone shows to the firm that you care about the firm and the community of the firm as a whole.
It really kind of is a circle, isn't it? It goes back to the idea of if you pick something in which you have an interest, all right, and it's going to be a lot easier to, quote, network, because you're going to want to be around these people. You're going to be pursuing something that's interesting to you, and it's going to be natural to do that. So I think that that's part of it. And then secondly, for those people, Ellie, you know, that you were saying that are just don't have the, quote, personality to do it, you know, I have this view on business generation that everybody can generate business. Not everybody is going to be the person that's going to be able to get the meeting or be the person that is important, you know, maybe in the actual make the pitch at the meeting. But there are things that can be done in terms of developing an expertise by writing articles, by you know, obviously doing great work, but you know, beyond that, by doing research on opportunities that might be out there for the firm. So there's lots of ways that you can make, you know, that work for you in business generation. And similarly with networking, you know, some people are going to be naturally better at going out to lunch with people. Other people, it may be simply a question of sending an email with an article that they wrote, or sending other things, you know, that recognize people for things that they did, that they stay in contact. Now there's so many ways that you can do it without having to actually speak to somebody. It's, you know, it's really kind of amazing.
You don't have to go to the cocktail party and stay out till 2 a.m. talking to everybody.
Correct.
That's really,
Correct.
That's not the only way to network.
Go to the party. I mean, they're throwing the party for you.
For you.
So
Correct. That's,
show up
yeah.
at the party.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You know, stay if you don't have to stay a long time. You certainly don't have to drink. And if you're going to, you know, you don't want to drink heavily, but show up, because if you're not showing up, you know, that's going to leave.
That sends a sign.
Yeah, it's
a
a big
sign.
impression.